I'm standing in our neighbor's driveway looking at our property. I'm looking to the west here from our neighbor's driveway at our chicken yard. This is in our front yard, fenced in area, as a lot of folks may know. There's compost stuff going on back there. There's the coop. There's all sorts of activities. And as the spring season starts to wake up, I realize there's an opportunity to prune the woody perennials in a more thoughtful way to establish way more visual privacy this growing season. You can see from the road that just the nature of all the stems really helps quite a bit. It's hard to look in and see in there, but it could be a lot better. What's happened over time is a bunch of the alders and the willows, they've continued to grow. They're putting on canopy higher and higher, which is blocking a view way up there, but that's not helpful to us. So a thoughtful pollarding, which is cutting dormant or semi-dormant plants at 3 to 5 feet roughly or above browse height, will be really helpful in getting a visual barrier where we need it. So I'm going to just use some hand tools. I've got loppers and a handsaw and some pruners, and renew some of these cuts. You can see where the alder has been cut. This is about my height, or 6 feet, 2 meters or so. And I think if I bring these down, make some stubs here, the new growth this year will be way more useful in protecting visually in this area. Let me make a couple cuts and then talk about it. I went through and cut a few to roughly waist height in here. These are alders, and that's a curly willow. You can see where I did this to an alder last year. And it seems like a harsh cut, and it is in a way, but since it's the dormant season just waking up, if it's a little later than would be ideal, I'd like to have gotten to this before anything greened up, but this should be okay. All of the new shoots will form right at those points, right here, and there'll be way more bushiness in this area. This is where we need it. You can see all that bushiness up high. I'd love to bring that down. So a lot more that I'm going to be cutting in here, and so I need to be thoughtful about where to send all of these prune cuts. I could send it to a chipper or dry it for biochar. I could weave it into a brush wall, but what might be the easiest is as the pieces come down, I can cut them up just enough to make it easy to move them and lay them in between 2 rows of black currants. There's one variety here, another variety there. We can access the currants from the outside on both sides, and so the middle can be a woody debris deposit space. It's a convenient short commute, and it will feed these currants slowly over time. If it happens to pin down a branch here or there, it'll facilitate those branches rooting. So it's a very, very simple solution to where do I put all the branch tops. This rough deposit idea in between 2 rows of currants makes it also a lot easier to figure out what to do with all the broken old branches from this pin oak. Over the winter, lots of branches fall down. Am I going to hike them really far? I'm going to process them for firewood. I could just lay them in a windrow to feed these currants, and then as they get taller, they'll provide more of the visual barrier that we're hoping for as well. Yeah, a little bit tidier already, and a really nice simple destination for future prunings. Yeah, a nice little green manure windrow forming in there. That'll be hidden pretty nicely once the currants really green up. And it looks like some seriously raw cuts, but these will be fuller where we need it. We'll do an update video in a month or 2 months about all the new regrowth that's happening here and how thoroughly it's hiding our wacky scene from the road. But I'm going to continue on. Maybe I'll leave 1 or 2 of them to be really nice and tall, just for some variety, but I'll finish up the rest of the cuts in here and we'll look at it once more. The more the debris goes in between those currants, the more it feels meaningful. It's kind of a really nice little simple look there. And now there's this rolling pollard. We've got the willows going up into one standard. It'd be nice just to have one that can really release and be up there, back into a descending and back up again with the standard behind them. Then it moves into the alders, a little further down, back up again, and then to the northernmost is willow and poplar with some willow beyond that. And so what we'll end up with is regrowth that follows a really deep green, luscious blush kind of vibe. Blush being the technical word. And again, we'll do an update on this. If this doesn't make any sense to you aesthetically or conceptually, be patient. It will reveal itself when things green up. We will endeavor to make an updated video on this, but it's basically a renovation on a way overplanted tree system to provide visual barrier in the east corner of our chicken yard facing the road, and management about 6 or 7 years in. Thanks for watching.